Coming up on Unscripted Faith, does weekly meal planning leave you overwhelmed and unable to take a true day off? I know it does me, but deliverance is in the house. Today's guest has a simple solution for meal planning, and she's going to do a live demonstration with us to prove it.
Yes, plus we'll be joined by a musical guest who has an incredible story and a new song to share about that will bring some joy to the world. We're about to bring some joy to your household right now on Unscripted Faith. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are so glad you brought us into your world. And you know what? We're real excited. Christmas is right around the corner. We've got some good stuff. We got some Christmas music. We've got some Christmas maybe recipes or something we can do around the holiday. It's all good. Y'all ready to go?
I think so. I mean, I hope that I've got them dishes just perfectly right on Christmas morning that everybody says, I want more.
Who does the cooking?
Me, my mom, and my husband.
Okay,
we get the
so
whole
everybody
family,
does
and
it.
the girls help to prepare. They help me peel the potatoes the night before and all that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Well, we can all use a little less stress when we're preparing all of these types of things around this time of the year, and that includes even when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. Kathi Lipp is our next guest, and she's going to help us experience the peace that comes with a full day dedicated to spending time with family, God, and friends. Kathi, we're so glad to have you with us here on Unscripted Faith.
Hey, Angela, thanks so much for having me.
Well, we are so excited to see what you're about to get into. You're welcoming us into your kitchen. And, you know I need deliverance from all the stress that comes. My wife and I were always hosting and doing different things. Tell us a little bit about your story, but also your recipe that we all need to get in on.
Yeah, so today I'm going to be preparing overnight French toast. So this is the perfect recipe that if you're for Christmas morning, so you prepare it the day before, and then right back while everybody's tearing into the gifts, the chef can just stick it in the oven, in 45 to 60 minutes, and you're a genius, you're the hero, and it makes the house smell exactly like Christmas.
Kathi, you're talking my language. Yes. French toast is the bomb. I love it. And if I could have it ready on Christmas Eve and Santa can show up, leave his cookies, eat his cookies, and have French toast in the morning, it's all good.
Exactly, right? And this is what I love about this recipe is that you're taking care of your future self. You're saying, you know what? I don't want to be stuck in the kitchen all Christmas morning. I want to be out there being with my people. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to start putting some bread down. Make sure it's like a French bread or a brioche, something that's going to be a little hearty to keep going. Because you can dig into that. You're a French toast aficionado. So you want to make sure that it's going to hold that, right?
Yeah, I don't want no soggy French toast.
No.
We got to have some thickness to that.
Exactly. So yeah, this is one of the recipes that I came up with because we are a blended family of 6, and just trying to cook for yourself is enough of a problem, but then trying to do it on top of making sure that everybody feels taken care of and loved. And so I needed to come up with some think ahead recipes so that I wasn't spending all day every day in the kitchen. Even though I love to cook, that's not the only thing I love.
I like that because that is one of my things. Like Thanksgiving, I love having everybody at the house. I love all the delicious food, but I also like to be able to sit down and enjoy it with everybody. But I feel like I'm in the kitchen all day long, and then when it comes time, I sit down, get about 20 minutes, and then I'm back to cleaning up. So I love this idea of being able to have it prepared the night before.
Yeah, and so, what we finally decided in our house, try to treat Sabbath, on Sundays, kind of like a mini holiday. You know how you spend a little extra time preparing for, well, you spend a lot of extra time, let's be real, preparing for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff. Well, we need breaks the other 50 weeks of the year. And so what I decided was I'm going to prep a lot of my food earlier in the week so that on Sunday I actually have a full day off. There's not a lot of dishes. There's not a lot of cooking. we're all just able to hang a little bit and just be with each other. And so there are lots of recipes that really accommodate that, where you can cook a little bit in advance, and then Sunday, you're good to go.
That's awesome. And I see you got about 4 or 5 eggs there. Take us through what you're doing there, because we want to get in on this. I might have to open this up here on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, the bread, you want to do like a French bread, brioche. But you know what? Let's be honest. If you have hot dog buns sitting around in your freezer, it would also work. This is a very economical meal, except for a lot of the eggs. Hey, if you've got a great way of doing, getting some eggs on the cheap, you don't need to have expensive eggs for this. And so right now, what I'm just doing is I'm creating kind of the juice. It's a gross way of putting it, for this casserole. So you've got 8 eggs there, and then we're going to do a half cup heavy whipping cream. All right. And then after we do that, we're going to do 2 cups of just a whole milk. So this is not your diet version of the recipe. All right. Jesus. We're not counting calories on Christmas Day.
No, we
are
not.
What we are going to do is we're going to do a 1-dish meal, because, I love French toast. What I don't love about French toast is standing over the stove, fussing with it the entire time. And so we're just going to get this going, and then I'm going to put in some great seasonings. We're going to do a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, some vanilla, and just a pinch of salt to bring out those flavors. The salt is a flavor enhancer. It's a flavor enhancer.
Kathi, you're talking my love language. I mean, I'm telling you what. I mean, I love the fact that you said it ain't gonna be healthy. Now we had Dashing Dish on yesterday. We're the healthy people. I'm not trying to be healthy throughout the holidays. I'm not gonna lie. I try to be healthy throughout the rest of the year. This is my time to splurge. Take us deeper.
Right, and that's what this is, a celebration. That's what we're doing. We're celebrating the risen Lord. And we're doing it with friends and family. So we're trying to make this a little bit different, a little bit special. And again, what I love about this, you're doing this the night before. Yeah. You are not stressing the day of. You've got enough to handle. What's this guy? I know lots of people like to cook like tons of food, and they have family favorites. This year in our thing, we're doing the fancy breakfast. And then what we're doing is we are just kind of grazing for the rest of the day. It's going to be basically charcuterie on steroids, because we just want to be able to be with each other. And as much as I love to cook, I love feeding my family. I have never been fed in somebody's home without feeling loved. And that's what I want people coming into my house. That's what I want my family to feel. So we're going to go ahead and keep this right over the casserole. And then I'm going to show you my favorite little kitchen trick that's going to help you I don't know. It's just the best. Okay, so I'm going to hand this to my sous chef. My husband's been helping me out here. And then if you can, these vinyl gloves in the kitchen are just the best. I have a friend who lived in Korea for most of her life. And they use these in everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press all that bread down so it gets nice and soaked in. The lime and the coconut. And you could just do this, but we're not going to stop with this because it's not healthy, right? We're not doing healthy this time.
We're not doing healthy.
I love a good healthy meal. Yep. At one point in my life, I weighed 100 pounds more than I do right now. Believe in health, but I also believe in celebration. Yeah. Sometimes that's where you bring out the butter and the flavors, those rich flavors to make everything a little bit better. So you're going to take this and you're going to cover it and you're going to stick it in your fridge overnight. Okay, so you're just going to put some saran wrap or something like that on there. And then next thing you're going to do is you're going to do it's just a little topping. So we're going to do some sugar, some brown sugar. We're going to put in some different, some cinnamon. Brown brown sugar is really the key to all of this. And then you're just going to sprinkle that on as a topping. So I'll go ahead and do that while we're chatting. But you need some butter. Again, you can't do this without butter because butter makes everything better, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be a crumble topping to put on top of the casserole.
Well, girl, you just brushed over the fact that you lost 100 pounds, and that is something to celebrate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yes. Well, and when it's so funny because 5 years ago, I never would have gotten on here and talked to you about food because I just would have been embarrassed. I'm not going to lie. Here's what I know is that I spent a lot of years depriving myself of the things that the rest of my family was eating. Everybody else got to enjoy it. And I just had to skip over it because, let's be honest, I was a 10-pound baby. I've been on a diet for 56 years, right? So when I finally figured out it's okay to celebrate, it's okay to use a little bit of those things that make the food taste so good, but everything in moderation. And so I just like to say, I want to, especially on Sundays, it's an interruption to your rhythm and routine. So while we're big on salads, we're big on soups here every single day of the week, on Sunday, we're going to do something a little special.
Well, Kathi, I have to be honest with you, I'm not big on salads. I do it because it's part of the meal. I do it if I'm at Olive Garden because I fill up on the salad or the soup and then I get to take my meal home. But it is not part of my thing. Hey, listen, the last couple of minutes that we have here and you're finishing that up there, can you tell us a little bit of what Christmas is like in your household?
Sure. So like I mentioned, we're a blended family. And one thing I learned early on is you can have everybody here on the day, you can celebrate on Christmas Day, or you can have people be happy about it. Pick 2 out of 3. And so our 2 out of 3 is that we celebrate on a completely different day. So it's just me and my husband on the actual day, which I love, by the way.
Wow.
And then the 27th, we're going to have our kids and all of their families here. We're going to celebrate together. And it just takes the pressure off because they all have other people they love that they want to celebrate with. And it's a relaxing day. We're going to do something fancy in the kitchen. Can I give you a peek of what this is going to look like when we're all done?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Because, wow. Come on, right?
Come on, somebody.
Isn't that amazing? I love how that looks. That crispy topping, you crunch into it. And then make sure, just to pretend about health, you can do a little bit of strawberries and blueberries together to put over that. Do some syrup. You can even do some heavy cream on it if you really want to go crazy. But this is going to be an amazing breakfast for you. And no fuss. Everybody gets to enjoy it and nobody's stressed out.
Well, Kathi, we've totally enjoyed this time with you. And real quickly, I don't mix business with pleasure, so I will not be putting fruit on that. I just want syrup.
Understood.
But hey, how can they get this recipe? Tell us real quickly how they can go and get this recipe to be able to finalize it all.
Yeah, if you pop on over to my website, it's KathiLipp.com. That's Kathi with a K and an I, Lipp.com. We'll have it over there for you, all the step-by-step instructions.
Well, you have been such a blessing. We have so enjoyed this time. This is the first time we've done something like this, but we've got to definitely do it again. Thank you so much.
So grateful to be here.
Thank you, Kathi. Well, when we return on Unscripted Faith, we'll be joined by musical artist Justin Gambino. You're going to hear his amazing story of how he found God. That's next when we return in just 60 seconds.
Your love and generous support make a tremendous difference all year long, and we're grateful. That's why we've created this delightful Dashing Dish Healthy You calendar just for our Cornerstone TV family. This health-filled 9x12 wall calendar is our exclusive thank you gift when you partner with us this December. Inside its pages, you'll find 12 of our favorite Dashing Dish recipes to nourish your body, 4 additional bonus recipes, 12 scriptures to strengthen your spirit, meal prep ideas to inspire your mind and make lunch prep easy. Plus, enjoy room to note all your important dates. We'd love to send this calendar to your home. To give today and request your Dashing Dish Healthy You calendar, call us at 888-665-4483 or give online at ctbn.org/donate. Thank you for making us your home for Christian television.
Welcome back to Unscripted Faith. For our next guest, he has been performing around the world with his charismatic, hope-filled anthems for the past 9 years. Getting to where he is today, though, was not an easy journey. It was once marred by rebellion and even being arrested. Musical artist Justin Gambino joins us now to share how God intervened when he needed him most. Justin, welcome to Unscripted Faith.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are so glad to hear you. Now, listen, I hear marred by craziness, arrested and all. Dive in, take us right to that moment, that pinnacle moment where things kind of crashed in your world.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting looking back. I've been sharing my testimony a lot the last year and a half, ever since I released my last record, which is about my testimony. And I look back at the same age that I got my first guitar is the same age that I was introduced to a completely different crowd than what I was raised around. I was raised in church. I was raised around church kids. And then when I got my first guitar, I think it's interesting how the enemy's paying attention. And now I start getting wrapped up in the wrong crowd. I want to fit in with the wrong crowd. And it was just a couple years of that before I started breaking and entering, committing theft, partying on the weekends, wearing the Christian mask on Sunday only, and then doing what I wanted to do, what Justin wanted to do. And that caught up with me pretty quickly. I was just a couple months after graduating high school, and now I'm standing before a judge looking at a felony on my record and jail time.
Justin, as you're talking about that, my mind goes back. I'm a pastor and I preach and I'm always in the Word, looking at different things. The two times you see the devil show up in the first Adam and the second Adam was after God spoke to them. God spoke to Adam about which tree not to eat and what his purpose was. Immediately you see Satan showing up with Eve. Jesus gets baptized in the Jordan, comes up out of the Jordan. The Spirit descends upon him like a dove. This is my beloved Son, whom I'm well pleased. Who shows up? Good old Slewfoot. Here he is once again showing up. And it's amazing to me that at the time when God was introducing you into your purpose, Satan was right there to pervert it. So what happened as you went through the rest of that process? We see Satan coming into your mix, taking you down a bad path. What happened after you hit in front of the judge?
Yeah, so the judge is looking at me because he's looking at me kind of sideways because, number one, he's never seen me before, and number two, I don't have any prior offenses. I don't have a record. I don't have, there's not a list of things that I've done in front of him. He's like, I've never seen you before. This is the first time. You're a good kid. Sounds like you just got on the wrong path. So he gave me a choice that day. He said, you can choose the felony and you can choose the time in jail, but I want to give you an opportunity to make a turn and start changing some things in your life. And he said, I want to give you the opportunity to join the military. And if you decide today to join the military, I'm still going to hit you with the misdemeanor. You're still going to go to the jail today. You're still going to get booked and a mugshot and all that. It's going to be super uncomfortable, but I want to give you that opportunity today. And so I took that and I joined the Navy for 8 years. And so that was 2004 to 2013. But it was only a few years into my enlistment, 2007, I found myself in Iraq fighting for the very freedom that I had taken for granted. And it was there whenever the Lord put the guitar back in my hands, because on a Wednesday night when I decided to go to chapel, here I am, far from home, not just my physical home, but also my spiritual home, my Father's house. And out of the entire congregation in that little chapel on a Wednesday night, I was the only one that knew how to play guitar when that chaplain asked, does anyone know how to play guitar? We need someone to lead worship.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's incredible. Like literally incredible. Oh, and God sees these moments. He orchestrates these moments for us. It's so beautiful. Backing up for just a moment, because I'm so intrigued, and it is so powerful what that judge did for you. Have you ever had the opportunity to speak with that judge and let him see your life as a testimony to what he chose for you or gave you an option for?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. I'll kind of skim through. Yeah, yes, we've had the chance to connect. To answer your question really fast, we've had the chance to connect. But what's kind of interesting is after finishing out my enlistment with the Navy, and then pursuing music full on for since 2015, 2020 was the year that the Lord put it on my heart to do a night of revival and a night of worship in my hometown. And I was like, yeah, Lord, I'm all for that. What's the venue? Where do you want me to do this? He said, I want you to do it at the courthouse. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going back to the place where I have bad memories. Not going to do it. You're going to have to find a different venue or a different servant, because I don't want to go back to the place where I have bad memories. That was my response to the Lord. And you guys can guess who lost that argument.
Yeah, how'd that work for you?
So I had to go back to the same courthouse, go back to the same officials, people that are still in office today were in office then, and had to get their permission, and they remembered me. And just this last Saturday night, we held our 5th annual Brazoria County Revival, because we've been doing it every single year in my hometown, which is in Brazoria County. It's in Texas, a little town called Angleton.
Come on, that is so powerful. And you think about, like, even that judge's just offer to that, how now he is receiving the benefits of it, being in that county, and the way that worship is changing that area. Like, I mean, that is a spiritual thing that he did. It's so powerful. Okay, so you're in Iraq. Okay, so because it wasn't just peaches and cream after you went and said, okay, I'm going to go to the Navy. Now I'm leading worship in the Navy. It wasn't exactly like that. Tell us a little bit about what you experienced as a result of giving your life and your freedom for ours.
Well, I thought that I could just come back home and start fresh, and I didn't realize that I was gonna, I mean, they told us that we could possibly struggle with PTSD and the things that we saw over there, and I thought, no, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna go back home, and I did. I mean, I struggled with suicidal thoughts and PTSD and anger issues, and I started spiraling into an addiction of alcohol, and but again, the Lord is ever so kindly pulling me back to his house. And so, I mean, he just kept putting the guitar back in my hands, creating opportunities for me to lead worship. And so those were my personal experiences coming back from fighting for the very freedom that I took for granted.
Wow. It's amazing the process that you've been on. And now, we're in the Christmas season now, and you've got a song, Joy to the World. Very familiar tune, but tell us how you've made it your own. You Gambino-ized it.
I love that. So it was about a year ago that I was on a radio show, and they asked me to do a song, and my producer was with me playing guitar, and I was like, hey, maybe we can mesh together, do like a mashed up version of my song Courage, and then Joy to the World, and make it fun. And we did that live over the radio, and the audience loved it. The host loved it. We loved doing it. And so for the last year, we thought, hey, let's make our own version. Let's get in the studio and actually do this. And then in that process, I had learned that Isaac Watts wrote that song not about Jesus' first coming, but he wrote it inspired by Psalm 98 about his second coming.
Really?
And I got fired up to release this version of Joy to the World, because I learned that, hey, we're in the end times, and it's about his second coming. And so we put it out. Yeah.
Come on.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either. That is powerful. Joy to the world today, and joy to the world. He is coming again. Let's get it. Well, we are so thankful, Justin, to you and for your testimony, and how even as you gave up your freedom for ours, that Christ brought you a new level of freedom. Thank you for continuing to walk in him and walk in freedom so that we can all reap the benefits of such a life.
Praise God.
Well, don't go anywhere. There's still plenty more to come with Unscripted Faith when we return.
It's Christmas time, and today I'm going to be whipping up some of my favorite sweet treats for the holidays, and my sister, my best friend, and the person I love to make cookies with the most is going to be joining me in the kitchen. I'm Katie Farrell, and it's time for Christmas cookies on the next Dashing Dish.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Today I am wishing you Jesus Christ, the amazing Prince of Peace.
Well, we've been cooking it up in here today, y'all. I mean, we just saw Dash and Dish there, and I'm so thankful for Katie Farrell and what she brings to the table and all of that. But I'm so glad that we had somebody bring something in there that you got to take one of them little insulin pens when you're done. You know what I mean? I'm so thankful, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, because I really try to eat well. I try to do right. You know, but there's this time of the year, if I put on a few extra, I'm gonna do it.
That's okay.
I'm not gonna feel guilty. I'm going to bless myself in Jesus' name, and I'm going to enjoy the holidays. So it's been really cool to talk about that, and then also seeing what Justin did and his song Joy. I never knew that it was the first coming and the second coming, so I'm going to have to put that in our rotation for Christmas, because we're going to celebrate his return as well.
Yes, and you said, listen, I'm going to go ahead and sing Joy to the World with all the sweets.
While I'm eating that. While I'm eating my French toast, got the drizzle on it. Come on, somebody. You got to enjoy, because January 3rd is going to be here before we know it.
Yes.
And we're going to be back at life, back at work, the songs are over. Everybody's back to, you got to take the tree down, all that. I'm going to enjoy it, because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
You know, have you noticed too, anytime like during the December month, I feel like when I go into a store, when I go anywhere, people just have this better disposition.
Yeah.
Like a more joy-filled, and I've always pondered this, Jay, actually for the past probably 5 years or so. I've pondered and I thought, God, your goodness and your grace is unseen, yet it's experienced by all.
Right,
like I can't get over that. And so I love that. I love that you take the month and you're like, listen, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it because 'tis the season.
Exactly. Well, you think about it, it's the most wonderful time of the year, because the spirit of giving is what drives this season. Now, of course, I don't mind taking too, because I'm a gifts guy. That's one of my love languages. So,
is it really?
I love gifts.
Oh,
like, don't give me a card and don't put nothing in it. Put something in that card. You know what I mean? Y'all, if you want to send me a card, you know what I mean? I want you to put something in that card. I'm a gifts guy. I love giving gifts. I'm a big kid when it comes to that. But I think that's why, is because we celebrate God giving his best gift.
Yes.
And now we're all in this thing of like, how can I make somebody else's life better?
Yes.
How is there not a spirit of love and joy to the world? Because we're all in the mentality of giving.
Yeah, and I love that. I do think, too, when you taste of something that's a little bit sweet, or you hear a story, even like Justin's, that gives this sweetness of what God has done, it makes us all come alive and feel good. We pray that in this season, you are coming alive, feeling his goodness, and knowing that truly joy to the world has come, and he will come again.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.